What's going on, everybody? I am the absolute farthest thing from a tech channel in every way. I do videos on sneakers, streetwear, clothing, essentials, and we talk about just basic money management and, prioritizing what's really important. So again, not a tech channel in any way, but everything I film on, take pictures on, it's all on phone. So let's just go over the fact that I got the brand new Pixel 6 Pro, and I got it specifically for one to upgrade from the 4 XL that I was using for a lot of photos, but also to do a comparison between this and the other phone I use a lot, which is the Samsung Galaxy S10E, to see does this, I guess, outperform that in terms of video. There are some pros and cons, so we'll go over those.
I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see. Yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl TJ back. Another video. Talks with TJ, aka TJ Two Swoosh T-Easy, MA2 TJ T Essentials. Klay Thompson is back today, barring no setbacks, okay, or the game getting canceled because of insufficient amount of players. We are seeing the return of Klay Thompson, and this is such an amazing, beautiful day. I will not harp on that though, because I'm really gonna try to do my best to keep this short. So yes, I film on phones. I do everything on phones, whether it's filming, whether it's pictures, projects, doesn't matter, campaign work, everything is done on a phone. I have never owned a DSLR camera or mirrorless camera in my life. I've had thoughts of transitioning to that. Maybe I thought like, oh, 2021 or 2022 will be the year that I do that. And to be honest with you, because I'm still able to do certain things and I'm able to work with brands that are amazing to work with, and it's done on a phone, I'm like, why go and spend the extra money on the camera? Now again, when you're buying a phone, and I bought the 6 Pro, so therefore it was the most expensive because I got the largest amount of storage on the device itself at 512 gigs, because I take a lot of video, of course, and photos, as you guys know, if you follow me on any of my social media platforms. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to continue to use phones, and so I decided to finally upgrade to the Pixel 6 Pro because I had also just paid off the 4 XL, which I was using. Great camera for photos. I actually started to film, or I would film with that. Then I switched over to the Samsung Galaxy S10E because that is an additional phone that I have access to, and I love the quality of video that phone takes. Now, I guess the big debate for me, how would the Pixel 6 Pro stack up to the Galaxy S10E? So let's just go over, at least there are some things I'm having to get used to when it comes to the Pro. First off, the Pixel 4, it had facial recognition. I am having to get used to not having that anymore, so just holding the phone up to my face to unlock it, that's not something I have the ability to do anymore. It does, of course, have the code, but then also you have the fingerprint scanner, which is on the very middle of the phone, and there are some issues in terms of it recognizing your fingerprint if you have a glass screen protector on. If you don't, then it's fine, but the reality is, for a lot of us, we actually use glass screen protectors to protect the phone. Those things have saved screens for my phones for years and years and years. I actually have brand new ones on the way. So I have one on right now. I have brand new ones on the way that I think are a little more responsive than the one I have right now. So understanding like how to unlock the phone itself with the fingerprint scanner, I've learned it really is more of a press like your thumb on and then actually rotate it down, press down with pressure, and it unlocks the phone. Now that doesn't work for everybody, and some people actually do have more issues with it, which is unfortunate. Google, get it together when it comes to that. But in terms of like me having to get used to certain things, that's really it. Of course, I moved from a Google flagship phone over to another flagship phone, so it's not that I had to get used to anything differently there. Outside of that, it is much larger in size also because I went with the the Pro, so it is bigger than what the 4 XL was, even more so there. But I don't have an issue, you know, it's fine. Like there are times where I've debated getting a Note and we know how big the Notes are, okay? So, you guys will be able to see some footage side by side of the Samsung, but then also the 6 Pro next to each other just for some quick B-roll, and then we'll also get into pictures, which has the better portrait mode. And right now, you guys are watching me film on the 6 Pro. So let's talk about the differences, at least with video, and how I choose to use my phone for filming on YouTube. So I actually prefer to use the front-facing camera to film just because I'm able to physically like look at myself, see myself, ensure that I'm in frame and everything is in focus. That's probably not what's really advised. If you watch a lot of channels, they will tell you, hey, maximize the benefits and the attributes of your phone by using the rear-facing camera because it will typically shoot 4K 60 frames per second, and that is something, listen to the gurus, probably don't listen to me, go watch Think Media, but I prefer the front-facing camera. Now, if we're talking about the Samsung Galaxy S10E, which you're watching me film on right now, it only films in 1080p in terms of front facing, like a lot of current cell phones. However, if you look, there's a depth option in terms of blur, so it adds depth and more contrast to the actual filming right now. So everything else can be blurred out. You're truly focusing on me. Versus on the Pixel 6 Pro, I'm able to film in 4K, which is awesome with front facing, but it doesn't blur. It doesn't give that depth that this does right now. So I am kind of going back and forth of which one I prefer. A lot of times when I'm doing an unboxing video and doing the commentary, I am in my closet with all of my sneakers behind me versus me just being out here and filming in my living room. So that's a little bit different. I guess I have to make a decision there, which one I'll prefer. I'll probably play around with both. But again, I really like the depth that you get with Samsung Galaxy S10E when filming on front facing. Now again, I could choose to flip it and film with the rear camera, but that also means you need to ensure that you have some way to look at yourself, and there's a lot of testing that goes on between setting it up and doing a test shot to see if you're in focus and see if the color is right, and then running back and doing the adjusting. It's a lot, especially when you're doing this all by yourself. So that is one big difference in terms of the focus and depth options you have with using the front-facing camera. Let's just talk about picture real quick and portrait mode. Now, the Samsung Galaxy S10e takes amazing pictures. A lot of the pictures you guys will see me post, especially of shoes in hand on like a tabletop setting or something like that, they're taken with the actual Galaxy S10. So like the recent patent bread pictures that you guys may have seen, that's taken with the S10e. So it just really captures everything. I love it. It's crisp. It actually will auto change based on what you're taking a picture of. Is it a shoe? Is it clothing? Is it a person? Is it food? So I love that attribute of the phone itself. Here's where the Pixel 6 Pro wins out, and even the 4 won out over the S10e. Portrait mode is amazing and insane for the Pixel 6 Pro, like versus Samsung. Like, I'm not sure what it is, but it really doesn't give you enough of like a punch of what's in focus versus what is out of focus, at least to me on the S10e. And you guys are able to see just some side-by-side pictures here that I took while doing actually the What the WNBA Shorts video. And so you guys can see which one is the Pixel 6 Pro, which one is the Samsung S10. So personally, when it comes to portrait mode, I prefer the Pixel 6 Pro. If it comes to just regular photos, the other, I guess, benefit of the Samsung, you can actually take the picture in just 1:1 versus having to crop it into 1:1 on a Pixel 6 Pro. I'm not sure why Google flagships only give you 16:9 or 4:3 as an option for taking photos. I'm not sure. I hate that feature, or I hate that restriction. But when it comes to just regular photos, I actually think Samsung does win out there because they give you that 1:1 option. If we're talking the panning option or cinematography, or if you want cinematic mode, I should say, or if you're using the super steady option on, let's say, the Samsung. So you can film two different ways. There's an inside joke about the floodlight that is present on the Samsung S10 to the point where NBA courtside security told me to turn off my flash at the Bucks game when I was there. So it's a really bright flash, but it provides just so much clarity whenever you're filming. Now, in terms of how steady it is, of course, you need to make sure that you're filming in 60 frames per second, and you can use just the video mode for that, or you can choose super steady, but super steady actually turns off the flash, just as a FYI on the Samsung S10E, and it does its job for what I want. However, if I want those super smooth shots that just really draw you in, and it's almost as if I'm using a gimbal, I absolutely go to the Pixel 6 Pro. And so you guys are able to see two side-by-side, I guess, side-by-side footage here as well of the S10E, but then also the panning option and just video on the Pixel 6 Pro. So if you guys see me post reels, or if I'm posting even video on here and there's b-roll, and I've done the different cuts of like commentary, cut to the shoe, commentary, cut to the shoe, that slow-mo of the shoe itself is filmed on either the 4XL or it's going to be filmed on the 6 Pro. As a heads up, I just think it provides much smoother panning, which is something you want. Now, that cinematic mode is quite different from what you're going to get on the iPhone 13. The iPhone 13 is truly meant to bring so many things in and out of focus, which is amazing. So if you're looking to make film and videos that way, where the depth and its easy transition is something you really want, I would absolutely say go for the iPhone 13. I have friends constantly trying to badger me into that. Mind you, I adore them, but they're also not paying for that 13, okay? I only need to pay for one phone at a time, even though I have 3 in my possession to be able to use. So like right now, this is the 6 Pro, filming on the Galaxy S10E right now, and I also still have the 4XL, which will just run on Wi-Fi or hotspot. So I have 3 phones, and that's the intention, honestly, to wrap this up. It's nice to have 3 phones for content, because if I'm shooting B-roll and I'm shooting pictures at the same time, because it's all a lot at once, I will simultaneously now set up the 4XL maybe to take pictures or video, and vice versa. The 6 Pro can be set up to do the exact same thing on a tripod, and so I can literally bounce from one to the next without having to stop and reposition the tripod. That's not something I have to worry about now, which is super nice. And in the event I also want this phone here to take video of something, I can do that. So again, I think I said this in the goals video for 2022. I would love to hit 50K whenever that happens. It's probably not gonna happen for another 2-3 years. If I hit 50K and it's all been done on phones, I think that is hopefully some motivation that you don't have to always have like the most insane equipment. It will come down to, are you adding value on your channel? Are you connecting with people? And are you really drawing them into whatever it is that you're doing? So for the question asked over sometimes, because people will ask on Twitter or on Instagram, like, oh, what camera are you using? Well, for a lot of the pictures, it's just a mix, right? So you guys will get a mix of the Samsung S10, you'll get a mix of the 6 Pro, and in the event that I still choose to take pictures, which I will, on the 4XL, then you'll get those as well. So just go ahead, sound off below if this helped anyone in terms of seeing how these phones film, and if you're using front facing to I guess film commentary, let me know your thoughts on that. I appreciate you tuning in to this very not usual video of myself, and this phone just took a minute to get in because a lot of things are delayed, and I have another case and again other screen protectors on the way, so I'm just waiting for those to arrive so that I can put those on the phone and see how I fare and like the use of those. But if you like what you saw or bounce around and see other videos on the channel and you like them, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. If you want to subscribe, hit the like, I really appreciate it. And as always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.